Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of our isolated city here in City Skylines. But today guys, we're going to build the final industrial area within the islands right now. And that is our forestry industry. We've got the farming set up, we've got the oil set up, we got the ore set up, we've even got the fishing set up, but we don't have any of the woodland industry right now. And that's what I want to implement today. Now, as always, guys, if you are enjoying the series and want to see more, then make sure you smash that like button down below. If you're new here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when the next episode come out. But last episode, guys, we added in more and more areas of commercial and residential to the edges, just to kind of bulk it up a bit. We had a little bit of a tourist hotspot down there where these guys need a little bit of goods. We might have to kind of, you know, house some localized storage for commercial goods nearby, just so that these buildings can get exactly what they need. And when I take a look at the imports at this point right now, you can see that we are predominantly importing goods. Which is crazy when you think about it, considering the type of industry that we do have. How much offices do we have lately? That's what I want to know. We got a nice big chunk there, big chunk over here. We don't have two. Okay, we actually got a big chunk over there. Yeah. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. But the small bit of industry that I do have within here, and it's crazy to think about how little industry I actually have right now. The little industry that I do have is still complaining literally about there's not enough raw materials. And no matter what your boy has done, they can't be satisfied. I just feel like they just can't get it in as quick as they would normally if we had the train connection to the outside of the region. But if we're going to forget all that for anyway, because I've got this little bit of space here, this little bit of land that I'm going to build a small little forest industry. Now, it's going to be very similar to the farming over here. Tiny. And I'll give you some thought of how I can do it. I got some plans. My first thought is this little beach here. Probably most likely it's got to go. Solely because it's going to then alleviate a bit more space for me when it comes to building the forest industry. I can kind of reclaim a little bit more land, if you know what I mean. So let's bring up the kind of connection tool right now. There to there. And hang on, we need to hold on. Hold on, boys. We're not even set up on the key wall just yet. Right, key wall. Connection tool. There we go. So I'm going to kind of go for a nice little bend. Not too much of a bend. We'll try and still have like a nice straight bit. But just enough to where we get a nice flat bit there. Just like that. We can utilize, we can reclaim. And we've kind of got this unique area. Now, it still looks a little bit funky. But the great thing is, I can maybe put down like a little harbour or something over here if needs be. I'm not sure if we're going to need to push it that far when it comes to building this area up. So let's do some terraforming. Actually, let me first get rid of the sand. The sand can now go. All right. The leveling on of the area will kind of pick a point just there. And we'll kind of get this all to the same level. So the waterfront inside is all the same. Beautiful. No issues, no dramas. He says. He says. So we'll keep the smoothing going because we're trying to well, we kind of not want to flatten it as much as possible, but the more we flatten it, the more likely we are to have no issues moving forward. So we'll just try and smooth out where we can as much as we can to really gain the land. And I think that's pretty as much as far as you're going to get it right now. So we don't really have too much trees just now. Now, one thing I learned from building the farming industry, don't put too much storage down before you start producing the goods. Otherwise, you get this overwhelming sense of need to import to fill the storage areas up. Don't do that, Zodiac. Don't do that. So we're going to turn this road into a little bit of a T-junction. So pause again right now anyway, because we've still got a few... Oh, I've deleted that one. Didn't really want to delete that. But we still got a few bits and bobs that I kind of need to get done. So let's go for the 4-lane road. And we are going to go back as far as... Do I go back as far as here? I reckon I go to about there with this style of road. And then we'll utilize a little connection just here. So I can try and do some type of a nice bend, but ultimately I've got to be a little bit careful with what I do, because I also need to kind of create this connection. Now, if I came off, say, this section here, and just came out by 5. I know this has got to run up, but it's not really going to run up the way I expect it to. So what we'll do, we'll push that node to there slightly. See, the bend's not really going to work out here. You know what I mean? It's not really going to work out. What we kind of have to do is create like more of a diagonal, like this. So then I have the ability to push this out like that, so I can create a bend of some degree. So maybe not bend too much just there. Push that out. So you get away with it there because it always leads on to us maybe throwing down a roundabout on that junction. But if we set up all of the train lines correctly, we shouldn't get an issue. But then again, I don't really like this, so I'm going to scrap that idea. Right, scrap all this idea right now. I'm going to change it up. I've made an executive decision, and I consulted absolutely nobody. And I'm going to bring this going straight down, which in reality, it does mean that you get a 90-degree connection just like that. So that down there, because it gives me all this straight bit I can utilize more than anything. And then we just got to figure out how we kind of bend into this. So I reckon we delete all of that. And then we just throw down a connection from here to here. So bend that to about there, which is fine. And then we'll just kind of configure that raw road just to go straight into this area. No dramas. Please. No dramas. So it gives me all this more of a straight section to kind of work with here, which is probably, you know, what I want more than anything. So I think the woodland area as well is the industry that has the biggest barracks, worker barracks is, which it is. The main building's also quite a decent size too, so you got to be a little bit careful with what you do just there. So what I'm going to do here then is I'm going to kind of build coming off this. If I 20 by 20, we're going to build our main building area just over on this side. So it has to be oh hang on, we've got to get rid of this area first, don't we? So if I just kill that off, but I got to bring that back in, and then we should be okay. So the main building can go here. I can't put a worker barracks down until I've now zoned this new area. So let me just kind of grab this. It's called Sunset Sawmill. So cute. So cute. And bring all this down and around. La-di-da. Oh, I've now got rid of the freaking airport area. It's all go, guys, today. It's all go today. Right, we'll go with that for now. I'm not going to play it out of play mode until I'm ready to start producing trees. So there's no stress just there. Now, these are absolutely huge buildings. This is the maintenance building. Oh, my God. That's ridiculous. Okay, let me change things up. We're going to reposition you over here. Okay, we're going to put the maintenance building just here. And in reality, I've only got really one room, one space at the moment for one worker barracks. Kind of annoying. Really. Kind of annoying. So let's kind of treat it like how we did the farm. We maximize the small amount of area that we've got. Now, when it comes to the forestry, we're technically producing 2 types of products, which is paper and wood. And they both come from a tree. Now, there's no difference in what type of tree it is. You've either got a forest or you got a sapling. Sapling farm. Is it called a sapling farm? It's called a sapling field. So 9,600, whereas this one here does 11,200. So in reality, it's better to have these large tree plantations. So if I just quickly, right, plant down these here, because I'm going to utilize these as being my, actually, let me move that one. I'm going to utilize this as allowing me to set up the configuration for the vehicle run for all of this. So if I build that there, and then if I quickly place down 2 more, that I know what the spacing is then to try and get as many of these in as possible. And also, so if I then get rid of all of this, if I now flip these to face this way, so they're coming off that road. Now, granted, I'm going to have to change up some of them at some point, but I'm trying to maximize the space I've got to make as much product as I can. So now the true question is, how far can I run this down before we run out of space? So another one just here. One just there, and that's probably the last one I can get just for this area. I've really pushed some boundaries, haven't I? So technically I could go for one more, but what I reckon I should do is delete that. And then kind of go around the edge. Like this. And then just kind of box it in. So that distance there is a 34. So if I do another 34... Okay, I was going to go straight back down. But it's looking a little bit difficult right now with the setup of this. So if I just do another 10... Get the raw road set up, straight back in. And then squeeze another load of these trees here. So yeah, what I was saying is, right, I could literally still farm like this to really maximize the space that we have. Because, okay, maybe I can't. Maybe I can't. Easy, Sadiac, easy now, sir. Okay, wasn't expecting that to be much of an issue. Turns out it is. Turns out it is. So if I do one last... I can put smaller ones there anyway. 34. And then we'll utilize this as being the last rundown to here. So if I just put that to there for now. What's going on with this little bend here? There we go. We'll upgrade this road. Just there. Because that's okay. The plane's going to fly over it. There's not really any issues on that kind of front. So throw you back in over there. And then we'll get one more in. Okay, that got completely messed up there, didn't it? There we go. So nice little row there. There's 4, 6, 12, 13, 14 in total. 4, 8, 12, 13, 14. Yes. Quick math. Quick math. So I could look towards planting down some of these small ones. But also I could also utilize some of these ends for being a little bit of storage as well. Not too much storage from what we've learned. Not too much storage, Sadiac. So I'll run this down all the way down to here. And have a little cut through just there. And we'll try and implement the cargo train line here as well. So if I push this right up to there, we'll get one there and we'll come back and add something into it. For the roads, I keep noticing I keep doing this minus like whatever it is. If I just run down to here, and if I created a little middle point as well, I'm going to drop a little bit of storage down, but I'm not going to do the storage until we are producing the wood, just to stop the import in case I have that same problem I had last time. Now over on this side is where we're going to have some of the production buildings. So we need a pulp mill, and then we need a biomass pellet plant. Is that the right ones? No, I need a wood engineering plant. I'm just looking at the sizes, and a pulp mill. So the pulp mill is the biggest one, which I'm more likely to place down on this area. So if I go down to there. Right, if I put that there, how big is the building in question? So what's that? 10. Okay, so I can actually fill it in by a 20. Right, down like that. Okay, that was misleading. Right, one there, and then we're going to kind of stagger them. But I then got 3 in, okay? 3 in. So we'll then come up by another 20 here. And push this 10 down just like that. And then we'll throw a couple of these puppies into a space of 2, and then a space of 2 on either side. So that's where the production buildings are going to take place. And then we're going to also then squeeze in another train line just here. So there's not really much thrown in on this area. It's a couple of little farms dotted around. Gives me a bit of space here to plant some more down, which most likely might go with the larger variation again. But obviously then flip it So 34 and down, which works out perfect, which is, well, it's all based off that anyway. But allows you to place in now 2 more. I'm going to put it on the opposite side of the road to keep this road free flowing as much as we can. Not bad. So it's just a really, really small forestry area. That is just literally the be-all, end-all of it. There's nothing crazy about this. It just is what it is. Now, is this the type of trees I've been using? It's not. I believe I've been using... Is it new brush? It's not that one. Brush 0. Definitely not that one. Brush 01. Size. No. Fullsopolis brush? No. Is it the new brush? No. What brush have I been using for all of this? I don't know, but I'm going to use the ender brush because it feels about right-ish a little bit anyway. So get some trees planted down anyway, because this is the forestry area. We've got to bulk it all up. No, it is this brush I've been using. Okay, sweet. So bulk this all up anyway. We'll take some trees away in some certain areas in just a moment, but just going to bulk it up anyway, just so we've got the main mass of resource available. So without doing anything just now, I could press play and this could run perfectly fine, and there we go. I don't have any ability just yet to store any of the goods, so we shouldn't see mass imports of the raw product. Oh, okay, we don't have the water. So what I'm going to do now then is just quickly give them the water, make sure they've got all the power as well, and then take a look at getting the train line situations all connected. So I've got 2 lines, and there's 2 ways in which I can do this. I could connect the one station up to, for example, this route that goes to that airport, and the other one to this one that goes to that airport, which I think is probably the better way to do it. So let's go with, okay, let's do this one and bring it down by, let's go by 15. So that connects straight down. Do the same on this side. And then that will just obviously connect straight down, minus 15. And ideally, we'll then run this to there. So we've got to bring this one round to connect into here. Now, how close is close enough for the 21 by 21? 21. 21. And we'll just sort that out momentarily. And then we need to get, for example, this all the way down to here to do a V here, but it's a little bit too close to that at the minute. So if I treated here 20, well, that would be 21. I ain't going to argue it at 22. I ain't going to argue that 22 right there. And then use the connection tool. And we'll go a decent bend. So now the trains to do their smoogling, if that is even a word. And there's no way in this planet right now I'm getting this bend to work. Oh, okay. I'm a genius. Now, I have a feeling that this is not perfect. So we bend you in. Bend these both in to alleviate the bend, and probably the same as this one. It's just my foolproof plan to make sure that this is always connected. I feel like this one's going to be connected anyway, but nonetheless we squeeze it all in. So that gives us the 2 train connections either side, for one for the storage that's eventually going to be over on this side, and then this one over here for the production stuff to export it. So fingers crossed that is the majority of the work that we've got to do. Now, what is also interesting is that we do have potentially the ability to connect up this metro line there. If I go to the metro section here, that metro line there to extend to come all the way through to reach this station as well. Now, very much like how we have this one over here going all the way over this way, it means I can then add an additional stop for the workers for the forestry area, like how we did for the farming area, which I think is quite important to get everybody distributed nice and evenly to work. So let's implement this, and we'll create a brand new line. So there to there, no dramas. Nice. There to then there. So I want to try and make the bends as like realistic as possible. And I feel like that's what would happen for like a nice bend. Okay. And then that now makes this woodland area accessible via public transport. So now I have a couple of options on what I can do. I could either extend this purple line, but then that purple line goes all the way down to here. Or I could extend the pink line that goes all the way down to there. Or I could just naturally just create a new line. Maybe the better way to go about it. Where am I going to now? Over here, right? Actually, I don't think I like how this is being placed. So if I go on that side to then come into here. There we go. We wanted it on the opposite station. Right, if I place it there, it's going to complete the line. I don't want it to complete the line. It's annoying how that is on that side. I wonder if I can kind of switch over to the other side. Complete the line, but obviously have a stop just there. Is it possible for me to switch? I don't know how I get like something to utilize the opposite line. Did that work? So apparently you can't find the path, even if I did try to throw it over. But you know what? I ain't going to argue too much. I'm not going to argue too much with it. So, I'm going to fast forward then. This Sunset Sawmill. No import yet, but not really much production just yet. No import is good. Oh, there we go. We're actually creating the goods right now. So, with that said, let's do this carefully. Okay? Let's do this carefully right now. So if I drop a storage building down, carefully, no imports, and fill this up, guys. We're also going to throw down 2 small warehouses locally. There we go. One's going to store the paper. One's going to store the planed timber. So we got those factory goods being stored nearby as well. Now, I'm hoping we don't see like a huge growth spurt right now of import. I'm hoping that they'll fill this up themselves naturally. But as soon as they start filling this up, they stop exporting and taking it to the buildings until this is kind of like all sorted. But nobody really is interested at the moment in this. Oh, this vehicle could be. Could this be the first one, boys? No. No, it's not. So we'll see what happens. You got to give it some time. Okay, there we go. We've got some import right now. Hopefully it's not going to be completely overwhelmed. But you never know in this game. You never know. Imports now. So, connections. Okay, we're definitely about to start importing. But are we exporting? We are starting to export a little bit anyway. I don't think you're ultimately going to win, really, are we? So, okay. We're going to see some traffic, guys. We're going to start seeing some traffic right now as they slowly fill this area up. Is what it is, I suppose. But just like the farming area, it will eventually balance itself out. So I think we're going to be okay. Right, guys? We're going to be okay. What's going on over here? Multiple problems. Building is closed and... Wait. Oh, wait. How long's the airport been turned off? And when was it turned off? Well, that's not good. That's definitely not good. That's the first time I've seen something like that happen. Right, okay. Right, are they importing? I mean, I say importing, but are they storing now? There's still zero storage going on. They would much rather export right now, but they are making a little bit of profit, so that's pretty good as well. And we're going to level this up too. There we go. It's just now leveled up to the next area. So does this mean we're going to start seeing more planes landing at this airport over here, considering that the building was turned off? No, I diddly. Not sure what you're doing right now, but you're holding everybody up. We've got a bunch of planes trying to get in right now. Are they all going to merge together at once to get in here? That would be hilarious. But I'm not quite sure what's going on with that plane then. It was just kind of glitched out, wasn't it? Right, we'll keep an eye on that airport, because I didn't realise that... Did I actually... I don't know if I accidentally turned it off at some point. I just have no recollection of what's going on. Right, that plane seems to be kind of glitched out. So these planes are now going to leave? I don't know why, but these planes feel glitched. As if they don't want to move. I know they keep trying to spawn in. But none of them want to leave. Oh, that was about to leave as well. Oh, I feel bad. I legit feel bad. That plane was just about to leave out and I deleted it. Oopsie. Right, there we go. Now we've got the imports coming in. So you're going to see a dramatic amount of vehicles chilling. And when I say chilling, I mean causing absolute road chaos as they fill this storage bin up. So just give them their sweet time. At least we get in the actual goods that we create stored in as well. So that's pretty good to see. There's a bunch of planes now all going to fly off together. Wow! That's pretty cool to see, isn't it? Oh my goodness me. That was ridiculous. That really was. So, these aren't turned off, are they? No. I know the Popo needs to go over here right now. But maybe we start seeing some momentum happening back to this airport there. Maybe that's the reason why that airport over there has been completely overwhelmed, because the other one was turned off and I just didn't even realise. Who knows? Anyway, now with the final industrial area now in, we can start looking at building the unique factories. So we can start taking a look at building stuff like our furniture factory. We've got our bakery right now. Our industrial steel plants. We've got some household plastic factories. We've got all this stuff that we need to start building to utilize more and more of these goods. Half the import over here is coming in, but just like the farming industry, it will kind of die down slightly, and we'll go back to normal production. We'll see how it goes anyway, but they're utilizing the train stations, which is really important. That's really important that you utilize if you can even English. Utilizing the train stations, because we know now vehicles are moving. Oh my goodness me. So all that import that we've got coming in for this forestry area is now blocking our train line. So this is something that we're going to have to kind of give it a little bit of time for it to kind of start clearing through. But guys, I'm going to end it here. We got some big plans in the next episode. And we got lots of trees to chop down. But until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.